Hey guys, this is Andy with BoldGrid Support. Recently we had a comment regarding using custom HTML in posts and pages. So today I'm going to demonstrate how to add custom HTML in the BoldGrid Post and Page Builder. As someone who writes a lot of HTML by hand, the ability to use custom HTML in the Post and Page Builder is one of my personal favorite features. While it does help to have some general knowledge with HTML, that doesn't mean that you need to be an HTML guru to benefit from this feature. And while these aren't the only ways to take advantage of using custom HTML on your site, some examples that I'll be covering in this video are populating blog content from HTML and making inline style or CSS adjustments. So let's go ahead and take a look at our example for today. Alright, so before we jump in, at the moment I'm starting with a blank page. Since this site is supposed to be music themed, I have a blog post I've already written in HTML about the history of vinyl records that we're going to go ahead and bring into this site. But before I can do that, we do need to answer one question. How do we start using custom HTML? The answer is actually easier than you might think. So if I go to the top right of the editor window here, you can see I can click on the text tab. Once I do, you'll see my blank page is actually not so blank. So what is all this stuff? The Post and Page Builder will do its best to automatically adjust and make your content compatible with the visual editor. For example, if I highlight and erase everything we see here and go ahead and just add a heading tag, we can go ahead and go back over to the Visual tab and see that my text is already there looking like a heading. And if I hover over it, you can see the colored tags for the columns, rows, headings, and sections. So if I go back over to the text tab, you'll see that it's actually wrapped in everything that we saw before. Uh, Another neat trick that I like is if I highlight our heading here and we go back over to the text tab, you'll see it highlighted in the editor. So that is a neat trick to hold on to. So for the scope of this video, I won't touch too much on what's added by the editor, but now that we know how to start using custom HTML, let's go ahead and try out a couple examples. Alright, so I did cheat a little bit and already showed you how to add HTML from scratch in the text editor, but I'm pretty sure most people are not writing their content from scratch like I often will. So let's go ahead and add the text for this post all at once. So this is a pretty common scenario. Many users might have their posts pre-written in HTML, or they exported a Word document as HTML, or they got a block of code from some other source. So adding the HTML is actually pretty easy. I'm just going to come over to the text editor and paste it where I want it. For now, that's going to be right over the top of the heading tag that we just created. So I'm just going to paste that, and you can see all of it just comes in here. And when I go back to the visual tab, we can see that I have my whole post pretty much ready to go. This next part is slightly more advanced, but I'm going to go ahead and do a custom inline style change with custom HTML. Realistically, most of the things that you might want to do with inline styles can be done by the visual editor. There might be times where a certain style change is not available in the editor, or maybe you're just like me and you like doing it the hard way. For this example, the changes I'm about to make are definitely something you can do in the visual editor, but I'm just going to try and keep it simple and make it so that it's easy for you guys watching to see the changes take effect. So for this change, I'm just going to go ahead and let's go ahead and pick one of these. We're just going to scroll to the bottom and highlight this last heading here. We're just going to change how the text looks. So if I switch over to the text tab and scroll down a bit, you can see that I have my heading highlighted. I'm just going to go over here into the H1 tag and add a space and a style property. I already wrote this one out, so I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in. But now when we go back to the visual editor, we'll see the font on the heading on the last paragraph is now fancy, pretty glowy blue. Alright, now that I've gone ahead and created a whole post using HTML, I'm going to save my changes so that we can take a look at the final result. If you do get good at using the visual editor and the text editor in parallel, there's no end to what you might be able to do. I know I certainly haven't covered all the possibilities and all the tricks that I know, but either way, let's take a look at the final result. Here we are. Here is our whole post that we built with HTML and our style change. But I hope you found this. I hope you guys found this demonstration informative. If you have any questions or if you want to know more, feel free to leave a comment below or head over to our support forums and other resources at boldgrid.com/support. Thanks for watching.